Wicked smart. We are off to a good start here today, man. How's it feel to be Chris today?
That feels good. You actually said the wicked smart with a good accent. I'm impressed. I don't know where you're from, but we got to bring you to Boston.
That's right, Boston. Yeah, down the harbor. So I'm a transplant from Michigan, and I'm down in the Carolinas now. And a lot of people I hear they're called halfbacks. I think where you come from the east, the northeast, you go down to Florida, then you go halfway back, you end up in the Carolinas. You've been doing this for a really long time, so I want to jump right into this.
Sure.
I always just let the listeners know just a little bit of background on you. I know it's hard to cram it all into a little summary here, but just give the listeners a little bit about your experience with real estate and business in general.
Yeah, I'll do 33 years in about 2 minutes. That way you can unpack any piece that you want. So
Cram and jam.
What month are we in as of the filming? November. So as of September, I've been at this 33 years in some shape, form, or fashion in real estate. Grew up in a family company that was not real estate related. So when my dad sold that like 91-ish, I went off on my own. Got fired actually from the company that bought him. So that I had to go off on my own.
I thought you were going to say dad fired you.
No, he sold and then I got fired. So I've touched everything, Brett, from building homes, single family, to raise the roof projects, to owning a brokerage and selling that to 𝗘𝗽𝗶𝘀𝗁, which brought me up to like 2000. And then I started doing my own investments in coaching. But at that time, I was coaching high grossing commission realtors, not investors. That was 2000 with a buddy of mine, Richard Robbins, up in Canada, actually. And then the crash hit as I was doing my own investments. And the '08 crash is why we're here today. The '08 crash made us, it was sort of the impetus, it made us re-engineer our business to not ever use banks again. So we buy everything without using banks now. And I say we have a family company that doesn't just buy real estate personally, but we also coach that's Smart Real Estate Coach, around Northeast. We've got about 140, we call them associates, doing deals, mostly United States, a little bit in Canada. Right now, meaning we do deals with them, we rev share, we don't just sell them a product and move on. We do deals with these guys in the field and show them how it's done. So that's like A through Z from 1991 till now, but we can unpack any piece of that if you want. We did flip too. We'd buy a 6-unit and turn it into condominiums and condoize it and then sell those off. But the challenge was this. So I had a bunch of commercial condominium flips and regular flips going on, but I was signed personally on all the loans. I think my portfolio was like 23 different properties between mixed use, single family, but all of them I signed personally. So when the market crashed, I had one project, to give you an example, that had 6 units in it, and we did condos, turned them into condos. We sold 2 at 172 grand. Literally like a light switch was flipped after the crash. I couldn't get 50 grand to save my life. So what do you think happened with that note? I was on it personally. They came looking, right? So it took me from February of 8 to February of 12 to dig out of that mess. I didn't file. I said, I'll figure it out. But it was grueling.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. It was grueling. So I said, okay, once I got out of my own brain and said, okay, I wasn't my fault. The market came down. What can I do to get back in? It was never use banks, never borrow, and more importantly, get off the treadmill of like transactional real estate. Build a house, get paid. Do a flip, get paid. And that's when we trademarked federally the 3 Payday System we use today to this day. So those are like the new rules I set up, and to this day we still do it. We don't sign personally on any bank loans, even for personal residence. When you're buying creatively, you can buy any asset class, right? I bought my office building this way on a 20-year note. But B, you can do what I call wealth stacking. You can exit them quickly, or you can keep them long-term in your portfolio, or you can do short-term if you want. Now, how we do it is we do rent-to-own. So we'll owner finance or buy it sub 2 or buy it lease purchase, but we'll exit rent to own most of the time. If we have a very long term on our end with the seller, we could turn that rent to own if they prove themselves into owner financing with the buyer, or we can let them cash out and we're out of it. So these deals can run from 3 years to 20 years. It's up to you. I say wealth stack because we wouldn't have time in this show, but there's advanced strategies to take a deal that might be tied up, for example, as a lease purchase, and then talk to the seller about converting that later to a sub 2 deal where their loan stays in their name still. And then you have that deal for 20, 30 years. So just depends on your goals, how fast or slow you want to go. Do you already have cash flow? Do you need cash flow? This all really matters because our 3 Payday System that I mentioned, it's like a low of 45 grand to a high of 350 grand per deal. These aren't small deals. So people can really cash flow these nicely. all of the residential deals, literally with no exceptions, maybe I'll say 99% to be safe, we talk to the owner about getting them their top dollar, their top price. Because they're debt-free, Brett, they usually are prone to go, I want price. It might be ego, whatever it is, but they go, I want price. They don't need the money today, or they would have presumably refied or sold. So we get them to their price or even a premium, but we take it over terms and only do principal pay down. Think about a recession-proof, I wouldn't say proof, recession-resistant type model that is. You take a 5 or a 10-year term on principal only, you're hammering that principal down. I don't really care what the market does in that 5 or 10 years. I'm protected with that principal pay down. On my building, it was a little different. The guy was one of the largest landowners in the area. So when I said to him principal only, he thought I was kidding. Like he said, come on. Because he wanted like 5.25. He had a number in his head. I said, all right, here's what we'll do, Alan. We will, for the first 18 months, we'll do principal only. Then we'll take the balance remaining and we'll amortize it using your interest rate. So we both kind of won there. And he liked it. He liked the creativity. Now, why do people do that, the sellers? They do it for a bunch of reasons. One is tax reasons. One is estate planning reasons, right? They don't want to sell the building. This particular gentleman passed away. So I think he knew something was going on. Instead of leaving his wife and his son a building, he left them a cash flow stream, us. So we have people that run hospitals, Rick in Florida. We have docs that run emergency rooms. And I recently have a VP from Johnson & Johnson who said to me, and there's a reason I'm saying this story, this third one. He said, Chris, I've been buying real estate creatively without knowing it since I was in med school. He's now probably my age, 58 or so, in his 50s somewhere. And he was just blown away with what we do. And now we've got this JV partnership going on. So all that to say, as a listener, if you're at any level, med school, physician, whatever, you probably want to put aside, depending if you're going to build a team or not, we help you do that. You probably want to put aside somewhere in the beginning of 5 to 10 hours, somewhere in your busy life, so that you can be in a position like he is 30 years later, whatever it is, where he's got properties all over the place. He bought them creatively. He's not on any loans, and he's enjoying what he does now he's moved on from physician to running a lot for J&J. But he's in a position because he did creative real estate for so long. So 5 or 10 hours is your short answer. It would depend upon if they want to learn it and then start layering in a team like I've done. I haven't been in the field in a long time, even though I oversee all the deals, because I layered in family, then I layered in other people, and so on and so forth. So we know how to do it. So I was used to, you build a house, you get paid. Get paid well, but you get paid once, you got to go do it again. Sell a house as a realtor in the 90s, get paid, go do it again. I did 100 homes a year, and every January I'd go, oh man, got to do this again. So the 3 paydays are, what was that?
Got to go do it again. Kill and eat.
You got to go do it again. So the 3 paydays are, one, a buyer, when we exit Rentone, they're true buyers. They just need time. They might have left the physician world. They started their own business. They have cash. They have credit. They just not financeable yet with a bank. So they come in with a down payment. That's our payday 1. Our payday 2 is we're paying something to the seller or to their underlying debt on the property we secure, and we're getting something higher from the monthly buyer in that property until they get mortgage ready. Well, that's a delta there that we collect. That's payday 2, every month, every house. Payday 3 is you mark the property up for the final cash out, and you get the accumulation of all the principal pay down, which is super powerful throughout the term. All 3 paydays, as I referenced earlier, for our family company is on the lower end, 78 grand or so. But in the community, it ranges from 45 to 350, which was a new high this year in the community. February of 24, that happened. So these are sweet, lucrative deals, and that system that I just outlined is trademarked since I blew that open back after the crash. Just don't understand, personally, why somebody wouldn't want to fix or add on to, supplement a type of income that is 100% relying on your hands or your presence, right? Because that's scary. We literally have people in our neighborhood that couldn't do what they did anymore, and I'm like, well, why did you go there? Why don't you set yourself up so you had options, and you're doing that to have fun or because you love it or because you're really good at it? So that's the biggest mistake. I think just the quality of income. It can be better. I don't care what stage you're at, you can do it. Because 2 or 3 of these deals are usually game changers for people. We had a guy, not a physician, let me just give you this quick story, Brett. 30 years with the government, 30, as an engineer, like submarine type engineer stuff. Thought he couldn't get out of it and tried all kinds of different things in real estate. Found us, we helped him get out of his escape, his W-2 I call it, in like less than a couple of years. In his first 6 deals, each were over 6 figures. Well, that's a nice exit, right? So physicians can either do that or they can supplement and have a blast doing both.